that is actually, you've like streamlined and like big brained the entire process of like the morning routine.
Yeah, well, this is the thing though, as business owners, we can be like, I'm just gonna have a lazy morning because my boss can't tell me off, because I am my boss. Like, do you remember when you was at school and you had the 6 weeks summer holidays and you came back to school and you was writing in your book and you were like, I don't know how to use my hands.
How do I hold this thing?
Yeah.
Ideas are cheap, but execution is expensive. Welcome to the Handmade Bosses show. I'm Steph, and my mission is to help you start, run, and scale an online handmade business and build a creative life you love. I went from being in a 9-to-5 that I absolutely hated to running my 6-figure handmade business in less than a year. So bosses, let's help you get your amazing products out there and get the sales you deserve. Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we thought we'd get Sophie on again because it was such good fun last time. We're going to be talking about our morning routine tips for success. So we talk a lot on like YouTube about Etsy, about SEO and descriptions and copy and pictures and branding and all that good stuff. But on the podcast, I thought or rather on the Handmade Bosses show, because you might be watching this on YouTube, but I wanted the Handmade Bosses show to be more kind of, let's just have a chat about various aspects and things that we've picked up along the way on our business journey, right? So, hi, Sophie. Welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Long time no see. So, I've got some notes here on my laptop, but what I thought we would do is that I would give a point and then you can give a point and then we can just kind of, just talk through how we start mornings off. Is that puppy in the background?
Yeah. I'm just going to quickly go check her. I'm really sorry.
No, that's fine. She, bless her. Oh, if you guys are not watching the YouTube version of this, you want to be, because Puppy's just made an appearance on camera. Look. Hi, Dottie.
I don't know what this pour on my face is about.
Like, no.
You've ignored me for 10 minutes.
Oh.
Okay, you're going to go play? Okay.
Oh. So, do you want to kick things off with one of your kind of tips for starting off, or like how you start off mornings and how you get yourself in the mindset to get things going? First thing.
Yeah, so my morning starts with obviously getting the kids up and getting them to school. So before 9 a.m. I don't do anything. I don't check emails. I don't log on to anything. I just concentrate on getting the kids ready. But after that, I don't actually log straight in to work.
Oh, okay.
I don't. I spend about half an hour tidying up after breakfast, getting things how they should be, putting things away, and then I'm kind of focused then to get going. So just that little half an hour between like 9 and 9:30, just to gather yourself and like get organized, make a coffee, and then I'm ready to go sit and do some work.
That is a really good. So I guess it's kind of like not waking up and immediately being like, right, work kind of thing.
Yeah, because wow, that's just too much, right?
Yeah. And
like I love work, but not that much.
And I guess when you've got 2 kids that you need to like usher out the door and onto their respective dailies, you have to kind of get them done and sort them out.
Yeah, and it's kind of respectful for them as well, so that when they're at home, I'm fully there.
Yeah.
And when they're at school, I'm doing my job. So it's kind of like, this is why I am self-employed, so that I can be with the kids. And if I'm waking up and they're trying to talk to me at the breakfast table and I'm like, hang on, let me just reply to this email. No, that's not going to work.
No, yeah, I'm exactly the same. Like, well, I say I am, but I'm not, because I do tend like the first thing I do when I like wake up is I'm like, and it has to like, I just can't. It's almost like, it can almost be like a bit of a compulsion, can't it? When you kind of like get up when you go to bed and it's like constant
It's
phone.
what you're used to though. Like I used to be exactly the same before I got out of bed. I'd spend like 20 minutes on my phone. Like I would even set my alarm 20 minutes earlier so that I could have a scroll on Instagram, and that's just sad, right? That just needs to, no, we're not doing that anymore.
Because that's
So the
like,
phone stays away until 9 o'clock, and then I'm good to go.
because it's like that's 20 minutes a day. So add that up over the course of a week. That's like over 2 hours of your time that you could do something else.
Exactly. I mean, I spend a lot of time on my phone and on my laptop and stuff anyway. So if I can just get like the first hour or two of the day where I'm just not doing anything on my laptop or phone, it's perfect.
Yeah.
I would recommend that.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Well, my first one is how you start your day is how your day carries on, right? So
Mm.
if you start off your day and you're in a grump or something, I mean, something that happened to me just this morning actually was that I went to have a cup of tea and there's like no milk. And I was like, um, yeah, and we're actually going away in like a couple of days, so we don't want to do a food shop because it's like then it just sits in
Yeah,
the fridge and it stinks. So we're just trying to like use things up that we've got, but we've got nothing. We've got no bread, we've got no milk, and it could have quite have easily. And it sounds like a really small thing, and it sounds like you just get over it, but it puts you in a bad mood, and then everything else you do for like the hour or two after that is like critical for how the rest of your day is going to go. So like,
yeah,
have you ever had one of those days where everything in the morning goes wrong? Like your car won't start, you have no milk, you drop something on the floor and it makes a dent, and then you just like the whole day is ruined. But is it, or is it just how you've reacted to those few things?
exactly. Because you've already started feeling stressed and annoyed, and I mean, we're British. We need to have a tea on a morning. Let's be honest. We need that.
Yeah,
So
I
if we
can't
can't have
function.
that,
That's like the
exactly. If
first
we
thing
can't
I
have
do.
that, that's like, yeah,
It's
yeah,
literally the first thing I do when I like when I just get out of bed and I'm like half asleep, my hair's like this, and I'm like tea,
yeah.
tea.
Nobody speak to me until I've had a tea.
Do you have Yorkshire tea out of interest? Is that your
Yes. What do you have?
Well, Ash keeps buying me like Aldi's own brand decaf tea, and I'm not impressed. It's not the best. But
Yorkshire. It's got to be Yorkshire. And I'm not saying that because I'm from Yorkshire, but
you are.
you need Yorkshire.
I like a good biscuit brew. But then I think
Yeah.
that's from Yorkshire tea, isn't it? So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's allowed, right? That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to dunk. Yeah, you have to dunk. You can't have a rich tea. That's not a real biscuit.
No, it
That's
needs
just
to
gonna
have
flop into your teeth.
it needs to have chocolate on it at the very least.
Yeah. Oh, digestive. Oh, stop! You're making me hungry.
I've got a packet actually that's been floating around in the cupboard for the longest time, and I'm like, if I open it, it's gonna have to all go in one go. It's not gonna be left.
Do you want me to let you in on a secret, right? I have an old school desk, right? So that it flips up. You know, like a really old school
Awesome.
desk. I'll see if I could tip you down and show you. You see this, yeah?
Wow,
And
that's so cool.
and I stash everything in there. So
Do
it's got
you?
crisps, it's got chocolates. Yeah, because like when the kids were little, they were fine and they were like, oh, this is mummy's chocolate, that's your chocolate. And now they're like, mummy, I like that chocolate now. Can I have some? So you've got to be strategic. You hide that stuff.
I love that. That's a really nice desk as well. If you're listening, Sophie's got this like the big old wooden like school desk that the tops used to like flip up, and you know like the really old wood that like always has that smell, and it's like takes you
Yeah.
back to, yeah, it's great. I love
I'm
it.
kind of annoyed that when I bought it, it didn't have like some, graffiti scratched into it. Do you know, like on the old science desks at school?
Yeah, like Cassie was here 1994 or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh no. So what's your next tip then for morning routines?
Well, going on to having teas and coffees and stuff, I heard something. I don't know where I heard it from. It might have been Instagram or Pinterest. But always hydrate before you caffeinate. So I drink. I've got one of these little guys, and I drink. I want to say a full one, but I don't. But I drink a lot of it before I have a coffee, and that's really helped because I used to suffer a lot with migraines. But obviously, like tea and coffee, it dehydrates you. So even though you're drinking, you're not hydrating. So always drink water before you caffeinate. Try it for a little bit, see how you get on.
I drink a lot of, well, I only drink decaf coffee because if I don't, it just sends me nuts. I just end up like
Yeah.
So I don't suffer with that as much, but I have to say, like, the headaches that I used to get are basically gone now that I drink decaf.
Yeah.
It's just hard to get a good decaf coffee that still tastes decent without, so. But no, I do. If you've watched me in the live streams, I always have one of these. I've always got like 4 here. So I like to think I drink a lot, but first thing in the morning, probably not.
Yeah.
I will. So my next tip is you've got to like nurture the first part of your day, right? So it can't be, so I used to have like a proper morning routine, right? And I used to be really like, right, so I'm going to work out for like 20 minutes or so, and then I'm going to read for like 10, and then I'm going to do all these good things. And gradually over time, like the more projects and stuff that's been put on our plate, it's been like, yeah, no, let's just skip that part and go into it. And I've like really kind of felt the difference because of me not doing that. So I think that you've got to craft the first hour of your day and pack as much good stuff into it as you can. It's kind of like having a salad with like a dirty big burger. It's like stuffing all the good stuff in your body first, and then you're indulging in this nice burger, right? Or whatever else. So I think that's one of mine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. But I would say then leading on to my next point is that routines have to be baggy.
Yeah, it has to be baggy. I like that.
Baggy because you need to be able to fit and move in them.
Yeah.
Because it's not, if you're putting on like a tight dress, I don't know why I'm going with this metaphor, but I am. And you need to be like, at 8 o'clock, I'm doing this. At 8:15, I'm doing this. And then you wake up and you don't have milk and you're feeling like, oh, and your morning is already off. Then you're never going to get back onto it. Whereas if you say before 10 a.m., I'm going to have tea and I'm going to read a bit of my book, or I'm going to shower, or X, Y, Z, that's a good buffer.
Yeah.
So I think it does need to be not strict. It needs to be baggy.
I like that. It needs to be baggy. That's really good. Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I think it's when it goes too far the other way, it gets too baggy, and it's just a bin bag that you're wearing at this point. It just ends up not being very good.
Yeah, well, this is the thing though, as business owners, we can be like, I'm just gonna have a lazy morning because my boss can't tell me off, because I am my boss. So you are right. We need to be like in the middle of baggy, bin bag, and tight dress.
Metaphor. It's so fun. I love it. Your morning routines, guys, needs to be a little bit baggy, like your favorite pair of jeans. You know, we all know that they're not the most flattering pair, but we all have them in our wardrobe, right? Fun fact: I never wear jeans. I have one pair of jeans. I wear dresses. I'm a dress gal. I can't do jeans. I too like. I've got a scar on my belly button from when I had my op, and every pair of jeans I have, it like rubs it, and the button, like the nickel, like just aggravates it and makes it angry. So I just don't wear jeans. It's just simple. Perfect. Good way. I just wear dresses, leggings, sweatpants, all the easy stretchy stuff.
Well, and this is what I was going to say to you. I do wear jeans, but to be honest, I've had them donkey's years. Like, they're maybe even older than my children. So they're very baggy. They're very comfy.
Well, that's a good that. So they're basically like sweatpants at this point.
Literally, yeah,
Oh,
it's just held up with by a
thread. So one of my next points is quite a controversial one. I don't have an alarm. So obviously you guys out there that have to get up to get kids off to school, this is not going to work for you. But if you don't, I used to have a alarm and it always put me in the worst mood. Like who wants to wake up to on their bedside table, right? No one wants to do that. And I remember when I had a alarm, I even if it was a time that I would wake up anyway, I would always be like, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. And I would always just end up just like we say, scrolling on our phones, right? Because we don't want to get up. Now I don't have an alarm. I get up at 5:30, 6 every morning. And that's just when I naturally wake up. So yeah, that's one of mine. If you can, try not to have an alarm at the beginning of your day, but instead have a bedtime at the end of your day so that you go to bed at the same time. And when you wake up is dependent on the rest that you need, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that, because there's a setting on iPhones where you can like, it's bedtime now. If you want to get a full 8 hours, you need to go to bed too, which is good. But you're going to be horrified, right? Because I have 8 alarms that I set on a morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, and that's not, I get up on the first alarm, right? That's not my snooze alarm, but I get up on the first alarm, but like I have to have things done by a certain time to make sure that we leave for school on time. Like school is next door now, but they've only been there since April, so I literally chuck them over the fence and they're fine. But last couple of months since they started school, we lived about 10 miles away from school, so I needed to be on it with times, otherwise we would be late. So I have a get up alarm, breakfast alarm, brush the teeth alarm, are we all dressed alarm, are we ready to go, like lunch boxes and stuff like that alarm, are we in the car alarm. I don't need that anymore. This is really embarrassing that I'm actually saying all this, but I also have an alarm at 3 o'clock that goes off, because I don't know about you, but if I'm in work zone, I am oblivious to what's going on, so I need something to be like, get your children.
Oh no, that is actually, you've like streamlined and like big brained the entire process of like the morning routine. Do you know what, that's actually not a bad shout. So if we married the two up, it's like, don't have a wake up alarm, but maybe you could have alarms for like when you get up, you start a timer to make sure that within certain amount of time you stop scrolling on your phone, you start doing. That's actually a really good hack. Like, don't be embarrassed, that's really good.
We have to, well, not now because we live next door, but maybe even more so now that we live next door, because I'm kind of like, we live next door, it'll take us 1 second to get there. It's literally like I can see Charlie playing in the playground from the window.
That's awesome.
It's so close. It's not when I can hear him screaming and I think, God, I'm dreading picking him up. But yeah, it's good. It's worked for us because we don't have time. And I always say to the kids, like, if you get ready before this alarm, you can have 10 minutes on the Xbox or whichever, before they go to school. So it is kind of like, has the alarm gone off yet, Mom? Has the alarm gone off? No, I've got 10 minutes. So they kind of know that when my phone goes off, it needs to go away. We need to go downstairs and get our shoes on and stuff like that. So it does help them. But then again, on a weekend, I do set an alarm on a weekend. Have you ever had too much sleep?
Yeah, you wake up feeling really tired and it's like, I've slept for like 11 hours. Like what's
horrendous wrong? Yeah, so I do. And I set my alarm for 9 o'clock, and I think if I slept in until 9 o'clock, I would want to get up then. But most of the time I'm up for about 7:30.
Yeah.
So it is nice.
I think the worst thing is, especially now in the UK, we've had like a little bit of like a heat wave. And I think the worst thing is that when you're in bed on like a Sunday and your room's so hot that you sleep in till like 11, 12, and you wake up and you're like, what is life? Like what?
Yeah,
And you've always got
exactly.
like the most banging headache to go along with it as well.
And you feel rough.
You feel groggy. You feel like you've been
Yeah.
through it. When do you tend to like start work? So when you start work, what's the kind of first few things that you do to like get them out of the way?
I always check emails. I always check orders, and I kind of, because I'm a spreadsheet girl, so I always update my spreadsheet with any orders that have come in overnight. I check emails and stuff like that, but then I don't get straight into work. Like if I've got, like, say today I need to upload batch upload a load of new listings to Etsy, I will wait, and I'll do that at about 11 o'clock. I will get all the like miscellaneous stuff out of the way first, like the boring stuff, and then I'm done. I'll grab a coffee, I'll light a candle, I'll get in the zone, and I am done. Like, phone's on do not disturb, I'm focused, and that's what I do. If there's anything important that needs doing, wait a little bit, get everything else done first.
Yeah. I'm a definite project girl. Like I love projects. Like I don't like doing the weekly, daily tasks. I'm like, I wake up and I'm like, right, what we like, for example, this whole podcast, right? I was like, right, let's like do this, let's set this up, let's get that working. So I get really excited to work on projects, and I can get a project whacked out in like a week if I really put my mind to it.
Yeah.
Big project. As you guys know, with the planner, the Handmade Bosses planner, I was like 3 weeks and it was done, ready on your, but for me, I find like the kind of daily tasks, weekly tasks, the stuff that you have to do every day, every week, it doesn't excite me. It doesn't excite me.
It's tedious. So if you do have to do something, do the tedious stuff first. Because then if you've done like a big project and then you've still got all those horrible things to do afterwards, you're like, oh, and then the next day is going to be horrendous. So get them done first, get them out of the way, and then crack on with your project.
That sounds perfect. That sounds really, really good. So I think my next kind of tip, which I know sounds really like boring and dull, but it's to plan out your week in advance, which I know you're going to be like, yeah, I know, Steph, like whatever. But what I think is the worst thing is when you wake up on a day and you don't know what you're going to do.
Yeah.
Because you end up, and I've done this many hours, many days, where you've kind of like woken up and you've got like one or two things on your list, but you know that you want to work and you have to work, but you end up like finding things to kind of like work on, and it draws you away from your goals, and you just end up kind of doing things to stay busy. And that sounds bizarre, but we've all done it.
I relate to that so much. Oh my goodness,
yeah, where we just, like I said, we know that we should be working, and I don't even think it's we should be working. I think a lot of time is that we're excited to expand and scale and grow, but we don't know quite what to work on in that moment. So we end up like looking for new shiny things to work on, like, oh, let's work on like Instagram competition, even though it's not in your goal right now. I'm going to go and start working on creating glasses cases, even though I sell crochet scarves. It's like all of that thing, and you end up chasing everything. And the biggest thing that I've learned over the past year is ideas are very cheap. Ideas are, everyone has good ideas. Everyone's like, oh my God, my idea is going to be the next Facebook. My idea is going to be this. Ideas are cheap, but execution is expensive. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned, is that Sophie knows, I have ideas every single freaking week. I'm like, right, that's it. This is what we're going to be doing. And I just get so freaking distracted, and it is the worst. So I think that now I used to use Evernote for my calendar. Now I use Asana because I don't have like a daily list. I have things that I have to get done that week. I can tick them all off on a Monday if I want to. I could split them up, do like one every day, but I try not to put pressure on myself that I have to work that day, if that makes sense.
Yeah, No, I get that. I'm a big advocate for batching, but I think I get that from you though, because I never did that before I met you, and now I'm a batcher. So like yesterday, my Mondays are usually spent where I batch every Instagram post,
Yeah.
and put it into the scheduler. But I was on such a roll yesterday that I've done the rest of June. Like it's done, and
That's awesome.
that is just like, what a relief, what a weight off your shoulders. So I really recommend batching.
We have been having some great conversations so far on today's episode, but I've got something even more special for you. You know what it takes to be shown on page 1 on Etsy, right? Yep, you guessed it, increasing your conversion rate. My 3-step framework to skyrocket your Etsy conversion rate is my signature free masterclass. And boss, I'm saving a spot for you. Learn how to increase your conversion rate in 3 easy steps, as well as the top 3 mistakes I see Etsy shops make on a daily basis. Sign up in the show notes or head to handmadebosses.com/conversion. That's handmadebosses.com/conversion, CONVERSION, to claim your spot. Now let's get back to the episode, and I can't wait to see you there, boss.
Batching's great. What I've done is I've extended my times out on Etsy. So I do all of my orders like first thing on a Monday. That's the first thing I do. I wouldn't recommend doing it that way. It's one of those things, do as I say, not as I do. I'm trying to wind down my shop, so it's a bit different for me, but I get all of that done Monday. And then after that, I'm like, let's do my stats for the week before. So I go back through, I look at all of the stats and I'm like, right, okay, what's beginning to slip? What's doing really well? And then again, in the new Handmade Bosses Success Academy, which if you don't know, that's the course. In phase 3, there's a KPI sheet which you guys can basically do the exact same thing. So I've shared my sheet with you, and I'm looking at all of the stats, and I'm saying, right, okay, over the next week, what are 4 things I have to work on to get my business rolling to where it needs to go. And in the alumni group, so in the student group on Facebook, every Monday, every Friday, we're like, what are your 4 tasks? Did you accomplish those 4 tasks? So I think that does a really good job. And just planning your week out a bit like that would really, really help, where it's like you are working on these 4 things. It could be 5 things, it could be 3. I wouldn't do any more than 5, but you have to work on these 5 things. Like, leave everything else alone. And any ideas that you have, for sure, write them down, but don't execute on them for at least a month. And let's see if you think it's such a good idea in like a month's time, because 9 times out of 10 you probably won't.
Yeah, like the amount of times I've redesigned my business cards or information flyers just because, I can do that. I should be doing X, Y, and Z, but I can do that, so I'm going to do that. Yeah. It's about prioritizing though, isn't it? Like, I really love the fact that you've got 4 important things to do this week. That's a really good idea, rather than 4 things to do today.
Yes.
Because then you kind of like, the mindset is there if you don't achieve it, and you're like, oh, I'm a failure. Yeah. You don't need to do something straight away, but you've got a week to, get it done. Be easy on yourself.
That is the real big thing, because I just think that having your week kind of like planned out in a loose but structured way is going to stop you from like getting distracted and like ending up going over here and chasing this thing and chasing that. And I think that's why so many Facebook groups that I've certainly seen are so damaging, because you get 2-3 posts a day where like someone's gone, hey guys, I've just found out that testing this thing is really, really good and we should all be doing this. And then you end up doing that, and then like 2 days later someone else is posting something else, and it just ends up, you don't go all in on one thing, you just kind of half-ass basically doing like 18 other different, and that's just a recipe for just absolute disaster.
Yeah No, I love planning stuff out. If I can, I like to do it on a Sunday, just so that I know that the week ahead what's going on. And I have to have a diary. I used to do it on my phone, but I'm a bit of a sucker for pen and paper. I do love my diary.
Yeah. My handwriting is terrible, is so bad. Like I can't even read my own writing. And I went to because one thing that I have begun to do is I've begun to like journal things out. So like if I've got something on my mind, I kind of have a conversation with myself on paper, which sounds really weird.
Yeah.
But I realized that I haven't picked up a pen in months.
Yeah.
Like I type everything. I'm online. That's what I do. And I was getting to the point where I was like writing out words and I was like, I don't know how to write. Like a little part of me was like, I don't know how to write this. That sounds bizarre, but true.
No, it's like, do you remember when you was at school and you had the 6 weeks summer holidays and you came back to school and you was writing in your book and you were like, I don't know how to use my hands.
How do I hold this thing?
Yeah, that's what it's like. So I get that completely, but I do everything like, because I got my iPad and I used to write my notes really nice on my iPad. And I'm like, I miss pen and paper. I want something where I can physically do it, but yeah, I love it.
There's nothing quite like pen and paper, is there?
Yeah, it's just refreshing. Like how times have changed. Everything is done online now. So I'm rebelling. I'm stopping it. Like I am using a pen. Stop me.
So what's one of your next tips?
Scheduling a break.
Yes.
Do you do it? Do you take a lunch break?
No. Well, no. I don't. See, again, my work day the last few months has not been great. I've got a lot done and it's been fantastic, but I eat when I'm hungry. I go for a drink when I'm thirsty. I don't schedule in a break, which could be a good thing, to be fair. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, no, I get that because that's fine. But sometimes, like, my husband finishes work early on a Friday, so he'll go get the kids. And sometimes on a Friday, it can be 8 p.m. and I've not had anything to eat since breakfast.
Wow.
Because I've been that focused, like, on work, and I feel horrendous. So I think it helps that we've had the puppies recently and they kind of need to go out every couple of hours. And so I can be like, right, I'm going to have a coffee. I'm going to get a drink of water. I'm going to make sure I have a sandwich and something to eat for lunch, because otherwise I will just work and work and work.
That's really true. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. No, I don't schedule in. I mean, I kind of do, but I don't. So I'm if I'm doing something really, really intense, I can't tear myself away. I'm like, no, I'm gonna get this done. So like when we were redoing the course, it was like, well, Amy helped me do the notebooks, the workbooks rather, but it was like everything else. I was like, right, I have to rewrite 5 lessons today, and I'm like, I'm not leaving this chair until I do that. But if I'm
see, that's good as well.
Yeah, well, is it though? Because like I can go all day without wearing my glasses, and then my eyes are hurting like heck halfway through.
Yeah.
But
there's
no,
pros and cons to all of it, though, isn't there? Like, it is good to stop and take a break, but then it's good to get all the stuff that you need to do out of the way and then have a proper break, rather than like taking a break and then being a bit arse-ass coming back to it.
Yeah, and it's like, since the weather's been nice, by like 11 o'clock, I'm like, right, let's stop, let's have a coffee, snack, whatever. And I try to like sit outside because it's like nice day weather.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I do, because like we have like a decking, literally, like my office door is there and I can like open the door and be like, yeah, I'm just gonna literally sit there. The great thing about that is that bees keep coming in, and it's like, oh my god. I filmed a video last week, and the video editor is probably wetting herself, because I was like halfway through, this bee just floats through and I freaked out. I was like, oh my god. Luckily you didn't see it in the final video, but anyway, so yeah, no,
we should have a bloopers at the end, and that'd be absolutely awesome.
I have often thought about that, but normally it's me going, oh, and like a swear word normally comes out, and I'm like, oh, I can't put that on YouTube. I can't. I'm doing my best to be good throughout this podcast, but I am a bit of a swearer. So if one slips out, I do apologize. Yeah, so I can't remember if it's my turn or your turn, to be
It's
honest.
yours.
It's my turn.
It's yours.
One of my big things is I feel rubbish if I eat a big lunch. And I remember doing the lives when we first started doing the lives, I think last March, and I used to have lunch beforehand because I'd get halfway through and I'd be like, oh, but I have like this indigestion thing that if I eat like a heavy meal, and I mean like anything over like half a plate of food, I start like my throat makes noises and you can hear it on the mic. So
Yeah.
and I feel rubbish. So I think it sounds weird, but knowing how you perform best in regards to like
Yeah.
meal times and foods. So I'm really, if I'm hungry, I'm really productive, which sounds bizarre. But if I've like not had a big meal or I've had like a breakfast bar or something like that, I can work for hours. If I've had a heavy meal, I'm like done. I'm like, no, I need to go for a nap. Like that's yeah. So I think like just understanding how your body works and planning your day around that is really, really big.
Yeah, no, I get that. We do that. We have a little dinner and then we have a big tea. And usually after tea, we're like, oh, we just want to nap now. And if I had a big dinner during the day, I would be like, I'm just going to go nap because no one can tell me off. So yeah, I get that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely something that I think, and I mean, if you do like some research into it, they say that like it's a well, when I say they, I mean just the current research at the time. Obviously I'm not a medical person, don't take what I say, but they say that like you should fast for like 16 hours and that will make you majorly productive. I don't know, I just get damn hungry after like 12 hours. So
I was going to say, but then again, my husband, he doesn't have breakfast. He cannot have breakfast. And I know a lot of people like that are the same, but I have to have breakfast. I am a hungry person if I do not have breakfast.
yeah, I'm like waking up and the first thing I'm thinking about is tea, breakfast. That's like the two things that are in my mind.
Yeah, I can skip lunch, that's fine, but I cannot skip dinner. Breakfast. Oh gosh, no. No, I would be awful.
Yeah. It'd be like, here's your order. Oh.
Yeah.
So what's your last tip?
Don't beat yourself up if you don't get things done. There's always tomorrow.
Yes.
Just be flexible. Because if you're getting that mindset of, I haven't achieved this today, I haven't achieved X, Y, and Z today, then you're going to feel like a failure and you're going to start to become a failure because you've got the wrong mindset. So just, you need to look after you.
Yeah.
And what I do recently is because I kind of know everything that I want to do, but because it looks like a giant mountain in front of me, I don't do it. So because like with business, it's not just printing the order and shipping the print. It's not just that. There's like emails, there's social marketing, there's like websites and Etsy and admin and like X, Y, and Z that you need to do. So I get my pen and paper and I make like a little bubble in the middle saying Instagram, and then I branch off everything. It's like a brain dump. I don't know if you've heard of it.
Yes.
Where you literally just get everything out of your head onto the paper. For Instagram, everything out of your head on paper. For Etsy, what you need to do, I need to like batch create new listings. I need to update the picture or like optimize my expired listings, X, Y, and Z, and just get everything out. And then just focus on one thing. It really clears your mind. And I can see it all in a little spider diagram, and yeah, that's good. I'm all for an easy life, me. I'm all like, let's try and make this as easy and as calm as possible because I'm not good with stress.
No, I think if you're a visual learner in any way, shape, or form, I think that, you know, like, so for Handmade Bosses, I used to write like the whole year and be like, right, okay, what do I want to do? I just wasn't inspired to look at it. I didn't really like looking at it. It was just like, Whereas now I have like a really colorful bubble brain dump, and I brain dump and I add to it, and then I'm like taking bits from the brain dump, putting it in quarter one, quarter two, quarter three. But I make it fun, I make it colorful, I make it, and I think that comes back to like planning your week. There's a lot to be said for getting a planner that you really love, and that you're doing stickers, you're making it colorful, you're making it nice. I think that something that you use every day, like a planner or a spreadsheet or a brain dump or a spider graph, you have to make it good. You have to make it so that you really want to put stuff on it. You really want, I think it does go a long way. And I think we weren't all dumb when we were kids, and we used to like stick colors on everything and have colorful pencil cases and stuff like that, because to be honest,
gel pens,
scented gel pens.
Scented, oh gosh, yeah.
Oh, scented gel pens. There actually used to be a kid in my class used to eat the ink out of scented gel pens. I'm not sure if he's doing so well now, but fun fact. I think that's probably one of my biggest things, is that anything that you use on a day-to-day basis, like every day, you have to make sure it's good. So like I'm in the process right now of like trying to upgrade my PC, because I use it every day for like 8+ hours a day. That's why I spent a ridiculous amount of cash on this chair, because it's like, yes, it costs like £400 for a chair, but I'm sat on it a lot. Like I'm spending a lot of my time in this chair. So definitely worth in investing in the stuff that you, and it's not even like investing cash, it could be just making it look nice. I've got my dream board behind me, and I could have quite have easily just like stuck it on a Pinterest board and been like, job done, but I didn't. I was like, no, I like the whole process of sticking it and cutting it and finding pictures and all that.
I know, I get that, because it's really therapeutic just to get it all down, even just to do a brain dump. So you've got to think that all of these ideas are stuck in your head, and it's not just business stuff either. It's like, I need to take the kids to swimming lessons on Wednesdays, and they've got karate lessons on Thursdays, and we need to make sure we go to the vets to get, X, Y, and Z to its personal life as well. So get everything out of your head, clear your head,
get everything on there. I think we've gone probably morning routines and beyond with this episode. But I hope that it did help you guys. And if you have any extras that you want to add, or you want to just hit me up on Instagram, send me a DM, let me know what you're doing, let me know what you're up to. Don't forget to leave a review for this podcast. That'll be amazing. That will help us reach more people. I hope you found it good. I hope you found it helpful. We're still quite new, so we're still just finding our feet and kind of finding what works and what doesn't work. But yeah, we shall catch you in the next episode, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
We really hope you enjoyed today's episode. Don't forget to check the show notes for some more helpful links, and also a link to our website as well. Also, you can watch the video version of this over on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to get your free spot on our masterclass, a 3-step framework to skyrocket your Etsy conversion rate, at handmadebosses.com/conversion. That's handmadebosses.com/conversion. We would also love it if you could leave us a review on iTunes, as it really helps us to reach more bosses in need. Subscribe to the show, and we will see you on the next episode.